What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the library. I'm your host, Blackbox 3.0. I promised myself I'd lighten up on this channel, but today is not that day, so please proceed with caution. Experiencing grief is like stopping at a green light. All signs are saying you need to move forward, but you're not ready yet. Death is inevitable. It's gonna happen to everyone. So until a scientist creates a pill to cure it, it's just a fact of life. When death occurs, the living are put in this mindset of grief, an extreme emotion caused by the passing of somebody. Everyone experiences it, granted in different ways and severities, but everyone goes through it. And depending on the person, the grieving process can have varying levels of difficulty. I'm no therapist, but I personally have been using music to help with the majority of my problems since I really fell in love with it. And maybe I can help you too. I've compiled 5 songs I really enjoy that all deal around a central theme of death and how the artist or artists are coping with the passing of a loved one. Maybe this list will help you through some very tough times, or it could help you reflect on your own favorite songs that have helped you get through very tough times. I'm going to be playing the songs I talk about in this video, pretty much dooming the monetization or any chance I could have to it. So if you enjoy this video, just do me a solid and support the channel if you want. Check out the Patreon and the merch, catchingbigfish.store, both linked below.
Death is real.
In all honesty, I could have just put the album A Crow Looked at Me by Mount Eerie in every single spot on this list and called it a day. This album is heart-wrenching, to put it lightly. The album diagrams musician Phil Elverum, Mount Eerie, coping and grieving over his wife Genevieve, who passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2017. Phil, like most, was destroyed. He had lost his best friend and the mother of his children. He recorded A Crow Looked at Me in 2 months in the room that she died in, using her instruments. Now, I'll be completely transparent with you. I've never listened to the full album. I listened to a bit of it, but I had to stop because of how unfiltered Phil is about his grief and the love for his wife. I chose Real Death because it was the first track and it could lead more people into listening to the whole album. The song is about something that happened relatively recently after Genevieve's death, but my words just wouldn't do it justice.
A week after you died, a package with your name on it came, and inside was a gift for our daughter you had ordered in secret and collapsed there on the front steps. I wailed. A backpack for when she goes to school a couple years from now. You were thinking ahead to a future you must have known deep down would not include you.
Yeah, that's the first track off this album. Phil is obviously experiencing extreme emotion and grief, and the initial denial one has when a loved one passes. Not denial in the sense of the person still being alive, but the denial of your emotions when confronted with death's reality. Now, Brockhampton on a list like this would seem very bizarre, and I would have agreed, until I learned about and listened to Roadrunner. All Brockhampton's music shows the point of view of all the members, but Joba's verse on the song The Light off Roadrunner New Light New Machine hit different. In September 2020, Joba's father committed suicide in his own home, and this profoundly changed Joba's life, someone who already struggles with mental health issues. That tragic event shaped Roadrunner into what it is, but the song The Light is where Joba is the most candid about it.
When I look at myself, I see a broken man. Remnants of my pops put the Glock to his head. Nothing ever go as planned, couldn't make amends. Forcibly pretend I don't give a damn. At a loss, aimless, 6 feet deep, suffocating. Can't face it, can't change it, ain't make it. Master plans by the maker, I see no savior.
This continues on the song The Light Part 2 on the same album. Joba is experiencing the anger one has when someone ends their life. The pounding drums and punk rock guitars enforce that feeling, all while he bears his soul and just wanting to do anything to know why, and to see the light one last time. The Flaming Lips are known for creating very fun psychedelic rock music, but on their 1999 album, The Soft Bulletin, the fun music is shrouded in a deep veil of pain. The whole album process seemed to be cursed, with every member of the band experiencing personal difficulties, but that's for a different video. Frontman Wayne Coyne's father was battling cancer and fighting for his life during this album's creation. Coyne was at a point where he needed a miracle to save his father, and Waiting for a Superman is him coming to terms with the fact that that's not gonna happen.
Tell everybody, waiting for Superman, that they should try to hold on best they can. He hasn't dropped them, forgot them, or anything. It's just too heavy for Superman.
Coyne is experiencing the bargaining one has when grieving. He's praying for something, anything, to lift this astronomically heavy weight off him and his father's shoulders. But it's a weight so heavy, Superman can't even lift it. Injury Reserve created my favorite album of 2021 by the time I get to Phoenix, but the road getting there was very difficult. On June 29th, 2020, it was announced Jordan Groggs had passed away at 32 years old, leaving the trio a duo. Injury Reserve had already begun production on By the Time I Get to Phoenix before Groggs' passing, but it was completed and released a year after the news. So either by coincidence or as a direct result from the passing of Groggs, the song Top Picks for You talks about death in the social media age. How a person's memory lives on in the photos, videos, and posts made by them and about them, making the grieving process feel constant.
I felt lost, but a hole like this I never could have imagined. Your pattern's still in place, algorithms still in action. As I scrolled through, I seen a piece of you was still reacting. As I drove through, I still seen pieces on the street of glass still immortalized from the things that happened.
Injury Reserve is experiencing depression. Not just losing one of their founding members, but losing a father, a husband, and a friend. All being reminded by your favorite social media's Top Picks for You section. I know there's only 5 songs here, and I'm already kind of breaking my own rules, but hear me out. All the other previous songs I mentioned are about a person grieving the loss of a loved one. This song and this album is David Bowie grieving and preparing for his own death. On January 10th, 2016, David Bowie would pass away from an ongoing battle with liver cancer. But 2 days before, he released the song Lazarus and the album Black Star. Bowie knew he was unwell and things weren't looking good. And this song and this album is about David Bowie preparing to die. Lazarus can be seen as a posthumous message from David Bowie to the world, telling him everything's okay where I am.
This way or no way. You know I'll be free. Just like that bluebird. Now ain't that just like me?
Bowie is essentially accepting death. I think this song particularly hits me different is because we've had many songs where someone grieves the loss of a loved one, but the idea of this song, preparing for your own death, is just so out of my realm of perception. A man literally looking death in the eyes and saying, I'm not scared of you. Do what you gotta do. Ain't that just like him?